Hi, I'm Karen from End IBS Naturally, and today I am going to take you through making gluten-free banana and cinnamon muffins. Now, all my baked goodies, I use coconut flour, and I use this one, which is organic coconut flour, and I use organic coconut oil. That means that all my baked recipes are naturally gluten-free and naturally dairy-free. Now, when you're cooking with coconut flour, a couple of things to bear in mind is that it's very, very high in fibre, low in carbohydrates, which means it's great for those of you that are trying to stabilise your blood sugar. It does, however, mean that if you are given a coconut recipe, you need to stick to it, because adding more fluid or adding different dried ingredients will really change the way that your baked ingredients turn out. So you can hear there's some bell ringing going on, and today is the local Winchcombe country show. So I'm going to go and make myself some muffins, show you how to make them, and then take our gluten-free treats off to the fair for us to enjoy. Hope you enjoy the recipe. To make your banana and cinnamon muffins, you will need 3 eggs, 2 tablespoons of melted coconut oil, 2 ripe bananas mashed, 1/4 teaspoon of powdered stevia, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, a teaspoon of cinnamon powder, 1/4 cup of sifted coconut flour, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, so these muffins literally from start to finish take 20 minutes, 15 to cook, 5 to prep. First thing we're going to do is mash the banana. Make sure your bananas are ripe, or otherwise they'll be really hard to mash, and they taste much sweeter once they're starting to go speckled on the skins. So just chuck them in a bowl and just mash them up with a fork. Okay. Need strong hands. Just give them a bit of a mash. Now what you do when you're cooking with coconut flour is that you put all of your dry ingredients together, and then you put all of your wet ingredients together. So bananas mashed, and we're going to use some eggs. So it's 3 eggs. You can use duck eggs or you can use chicken eggs. I'm using duck eggs today. We're going to just whisk those up in a moment. Some people who can't tolerate chicken eggs actually find they're fine with duck eggs, and that's me, so this is why I always use duck eggs in all my baking. I'm going to use an electric whisk because it's much quicker, so mine's plugged in and ready to go. Just literally give the eggs a quick whisk. And now we're going to prep our dry ingredients. So, coconut flour has a tendency to clump together, so always sift your flour. We're using 1/4 cup. Now it doesn't seem like a lot of flour, but that's because coconut flour is very high in fibre, so it bulks up once you add your wet ingredients. So we're just going to pop that into the sieve. Okay. And we're also going to pop into the sieve all our other dry ingredients. So stevia, salt and baking powder, and your cinnamon. And then just sieve all that into your bowl. You'll get a few lumps in the bottom of the sieve, and you can just work those through with your finger when it gets to the end. So that's some of my salt. I use sea salt, so it's a little bit crunchy at the end. So when you know that's just salt left, you can tip that in. Okay. So now we're going to actually make the kind of batter or cake mix, I guess. So pour in the egg. Just grab that fork, make sure it's all in there. Okay, now I've had my coconut oil melting. So we're using coconut oil instead of butter, which means it's not only gluten-free, but it's also dairy-free. Pour all that in. When you're heating your coconut oil, try and heat it really gently, because you don't want it to be too hot, because it will start cooking the egg. Pop in your banana. And the very last ingredient is your vanilla. So I've got some liquid vanilla. You can also use vanilla powder. So we just want, I'm going to put in half a teaspoon. Okay. And then we're going to whisk it up again. And that is your mixture done. It is so quick. So we're going to pop that into our muffin cases now, and I've got that just behind me, so I'm just going to grab that now. Okay, so we're just going to pop our banana mixture now into our muffin cases. By the way, I've got my oven preheating at 205, so we'll just pop a good spoonful in each, and then however much you've got left at the end, you can go back and top them up afterwards. It's quite hard to resist actually sticking your finger in and trying it at this point, but it depends if you like raw egg, I guess. So you can add all sorts to the basic muffin mixture. So you can add some nuts in here, you can add dried fruit, you can add chocolate, literally whatever you want. And if you want to make smaller ones, you can make them small and then put some frosting on top and make little cupcakes. So we're nearly done, and then we're going to pop these in the oven. What I really love about making these muffins is that they only take 15 minutes to cook, and once they're cooled you've got a really lovely snack ready in really no time at all. Tiny little bit in the bottom. I always leave a bit in the bottom of the bowl because my other half Adrian really likes to get the spoon in and enjoy it afterwards, so I'm sure he won't thank me for telling you that. Okay, apart from the mess on the side, they're done, so let's put them in the oven. Okay, so oven is really hot, so we're just going to pop those in the middle of the oven, and it's literally 15 minutes, so do keep an eye on them, and we'll come back when they're done. Okay, so that's 15 minutes exactly, so it's time to get the muffins out of the oven. That's singeing your eyebrows. Okay. Kind of look like they might need a little bit longer, so the best way to check, a skewer or a knife, pop it into the centre of whatever it is you're baking. If it comes out clean, well that one did, means they're done. Okay, I'm just checking them all here just to make sure. Yep, they're definitely done. So you need to let them cool just in the tin for a minute because it's boiling hot, then pop them on a wire rack to cool completely, and then you can enjoy them.